Good morning, Cypress Village residents, and welcome to Virtual Coffee Chat. Today is January 27th, Friday, and thank you all for tuning in. This is Ty Morgan, Executive Director, and we have a lot of information, as usual, to share with the village to keep everybody up to speed with what's going on and staying in the know. I will wrap it up here at the end with a few talking points to conclude. So grab your coffee and enjoy the content. Thank you.
Hello, Cypress Village. This is Laurel Mundell, Director of Administrative Services. For starters, there is a new community welcome video that will air on channel 266 on Sundays and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. This is specifically for new residents who have moved into the community to just give you an overview of the various services and departments that are here at the community. But any of you who have been here with us for a long time, it wouldn't hurt for you all to watch it as well. It's also on our YouTube channel, so if you don't have 266 or don't regularly tune in there, feel free to check out the community welcome video. It's New Resident Orientation. That's the title of it on YouTube. You can check it out there, and it's just a short 10-minute video, like I said, to give a basic overview. Sensible recyclables. So I mentioned last week that we're going to do a tech return or a tech send-off for anybody who has outdated equipment. And I just wanted to correct last week's announcements, not TVs and big items like that. They won't take those types of things, but they'll take small handheld devices, anything like that. Tablets, laptops, those types of things. And they will be here on Friday, February 17th from 10 to noon. So you also will have that in your activities calendar from CLS. So put that on your calendars, mark it if you have any tech supplies that you're looking to get rid of. Just as a quick reminder for those of us in the towers, if you ever see anybody at one of the resident entrances, rather than not the main entrance, any of the other resident entrances, and they're trying to get in, please just let them know that they need to point them in the direction of the main lobby. Say, I'm sorry I can't let you in, but you can go down this way. Because that's just going to be part of the security measures that we need to have in place. Anybody who needs to come in through those doors will have access to those doors with their key fob. If they do not have a key fob, then they shouldn't be going through those doors, and they should be checking in at one of the concierge desks and using AccuShield. So please just be sure to direct them. And also, if it's delivery people, they often get lost. When you throw them in there, they don't know which way they're going, and so they'll be running around the campus, or sometimes they just drop all the packages there because they don't know what else to do. So do everyone a favor by sending everybody toward the main lobby or the healthcare center lobby, depending. And then just my last little update that I have is Andy will be gone for a couple weeks at the end of February. So I'm just giving everybody ample notification that for the next few weeks, if you have any tech requests, anything that's been outstanding, please do your best to put those in now. I will do my best to handle work orders on his behalf while he's out for those 2 weeks, and that'll be February 21st to March 3rd. But I just can't guarantee that I'll offer the same level of expertise or be as quick and timely as Andy is. So if it can wait till he comes back after March 3rd, that's great too. Otherwise, like I said, get him in as soon as you can to make sure that those are filled before he leaves. So just another reason that we know Andy's so valuable here, and we love him to death, and I'm so grateful for him and all he does for this community. There's only one Andy Perez. I always say that. So thank you all so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you around the village.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy coffee chat. Just a couple of things from the maintenance department. I've been out for a couple of weeks. I had COVID, then I had skin cancer, which you can probably see right here. So everything's getting better now. I'm back. So if you need me, give me a call. I've had a couple of messages wishing me the best, so I really appreciate that. First off, with Tree Amigos, the mulch is going really well. I believe we're on Silkvine and William Davis right now. So far I had one call that said they missed his backyard, but out of all the houses they've done so far, we're doing really well, and it's going very fast. So they have 2 crews doing the mulch and are definitely on track to be done by the mowing time when we start mowing every week, which should be about the first week of March. Second, the pressure washing finished the phase 1 for January. I got a lot of good feedback off of it. He'll be back the first week of February We'll be putting flyers in your bins to let you know which day is going to be doing your house, and those flyers should be going out next week. That's it for this week, so have a great weekend. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Candace here from the business office. I just wanted to do a quick reminder for some of our residents out there in the village, specifically our residents that are out in the Cypress Village owned homes that we commonly refer to as villas. Our villa residents each month receive a physical meal card that they use down in dining services. That meal card is different from the purchase meal cards here in the business office, as they have red writing on them that say Villa Resident Meal Card. Those meal cards are not eligible to be used on any guests or family members that are not on your contract with Cypress Village. Those meals are a contractual benefit for yourself and your spouse if you have a spouse living with you, and are not eligible for others to use. The back of the card does say that they are non-transferable, as our disclaimer at all times. In addition to them not being eligible on other individuals, the cards themselves are more so a tracking tool for you residents to monitor how many meals you've already used in the month. That way you know that you're not going to be incurring additional charges. The Villa meal cards are not something that dining services necessarily need to use or mark off in order to avoid charges, since our point of sale system does track your monthly allotment on its own. However, you're more than welcome to ask the server to mark it on your behalf. Otherwise, you can mark it or not use it at all if you trust your ability to remember what meals you have or have not used for the month. I want to thank you all for your compliance with these various policies, and I hope that you all enjoy the meal cards and their ability to track for you. And I'll see you around the village. Happy Friday.
Hi everybody, happy Friday. It's Susan. I'm here to give you a few updates for next week for the Wellness Center and everything else that's coming around. So first of all, Guardian Pharmacy, they will be there on Monday and Wednesday from 9 until 1 in the Wellness Center. And this week the pickup will be for Tower C. So if you have your medications, just come on down on Wednesday and pick them up from Guardian. And then I also want to remind everybody about our COVID protocols here in the tower. Unfortunately, we've had a little bit of an uptick in cases here, and I just want to remind everybody that if you have tested positive and you have someone that's living in your apartment with you, husband, partner, whatever, they also need to quarantine with you as well. And we are asking that you remain in your apartment or in your home if you tested positive for 5 days. If you are still showing symptoms, continue to stay inside until you are symptom-free. And that also means that if your other half is not positive, but they're in there with you, they cannot come down to dining either. So they need to also remain in the home. There's just, a lot of people, it's spreading again, and so we really need to be cautious about what we're doing and be proactive to keep from spreading to other people. So if you need any information or you have questions about this, feel free to give me a call at 807-6118, and I'll go over our protocols with you. So just be mindful and be safe. And also, great news, we have a new lab that will be starting next Wednesday in the Wellness Center. It's Florida Laboratory Analysis. So they kind of helped us out during the early days of COVID, and they've been a great partner. And so we are bringing them on, and they are going to be our lab on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday in the Wellness Center. And so hopefully we listened to you, we heard your complaints about HealthLink, and we've moved on to a new provider. And I think we're going to be really, really happy with them. And just kind of a wrap up on the health fair that happened this past Tuesday. Chrissy, big shout out to her. She did a fantastic job. We had over 125 residents that came through. We had 25 vendors that filled Egret Hall. Next year, I think we're going to have to spread out and have it all over the campus. But thanks, Chrissy, for doing such a wonderful job and putting the fair together. It was a really great showing. And let's see, on February 9th, Chrissy will be having her Wellness Center orientation. So if you're curious about any providers that come here on campus, or you want to just know what goes on in the Wellness Center, come on down on that Thursday, February 9th at 10 a.m. in the Wellness Center, and Chrissy will fill you in. And that is all I've got in my end. So you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.
Hi, Cypress Village residents. CJ with Transportation here. No, I'm not standing in for Dave Green. Today is about transportation. And a very special part of transportation is Karen Renfro. Karen has decided that it is time to retire. Just like you, the residents here at Cypress Village, retirement comes to all of us at some point. Very happy to have had Karen for the last 6.5 years. She's been an awesome part of our team, and I know you all will miss her as much as I will. Karen, we appreciate your years of service, and happy birthday today.
Thank you. I just want to say that my time here at Cypress Village was not just a job, it was an experience and a memory that I'll always remember. I have made such good friends with staff and especially with some of the residents. I'm going to miss our dinner dates, our lunch dates, our beach walks, and all our trips. I just want to appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers. This was not an easy decision to make, but it is time. And hopefully you will be seeing me around the village just in blue jeans. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Good morning, villagers. I can't believe we're at the last Friday of January already. It seemed like I was just not believing the first Friday. Okay, so I've got a few things to go over with you as we transition into February. The first thing I want to tell you, because it happens on February 1st, it's on the calendar, but I want to let you know that Elizabeth Woolley's son, John Kennedy, who is a very, very good piano player and professor, is coming to town, and he will be doing a recital and lecture called 1500 Years of Music. So that will be February 1st, Wednesday the 1st at 7 p.m. in Egret Hall. So come on out for that. It should be good, especially all you Performing Arts Committees members. Okay, then moving forward, we're making some changes. Some of you have heard about it. We are going back to the pre-COVID birthday celebration. So we will now be having a Cypress Birthday Bash every month in Egret Hall. It will be the last Friday of the month at 2 o'clock. Some months that's going to be the 5th Friday. Some months it's going to be the 4th Friday. We'll have cake and champagne. So come on down. We'll have live music. It will be a fun, fun time. We will get back to the gathering and celebrating of all the monthly birthday people. So that means that we are going to move our activities planning meeting from the 4th Friday, or the last Friday, to the 3rd Friday, and I will send all of this out in communication. You don't have to write it down. But we will also be moving it to 1 o'clock in the sales conference room. Julia wants to be part of that meeting, and she should be. So we'll have our whole CLS team at that meeting. Me, Becky, and Julia. So you'll get to talk to all of us. So starting in February, it will be the 3rd Friday, 1 o'clock in the sales conference room instead of right after coffee chat. So then we have a new offering on the calendar. Some of you have been asking about it. And it is a Qigong and Tai Chi for balance. So that will be Tuesdays at 1 o'clock beginning February 7th in the OMR. And that will be led by Marcia Green. And she will take you through some of the movements of these two ancient arts to help you achieve balance, not just physically, but in all other senses also. So try that class. It should be great. Okay, then we are adding a new resident tour to our calendar every month. It will be the last Tuesday of every month, so on Tuesday 28th. So every new resident will be invited to come, but you don't have to be a new resident to come. Maybe you've lived here for a long time and you don't know where the dog park is or the pool. We will get that information out to you, and you are welcome to join us on that tour. But that's about all I have for you. Thank you. Have a great weekend. See you around the village.
Hi Cypress Village, Happy New Year. I am Jessica. I am the esthetician here, if I have not met you already. Hello. I have some new and exciting things I'd like to share with you. One of them is that we just partnered with a new skincare company. You may have heard of them before, Dr. Obagi. He used to have a skincare line in 1988, and now it is continued on, and he has changed the name to ZO, which stands for Zane Obagi. He has changed the delivery system in the products to help penetrate the skin even better than before. He's able to actually, with the delivery system, change and know the depths of the products and how deep they go. So that's a great thing. I brought some products with you just so that you can see the packaging, what it looks like, and the bottles. As you can see, they've changed the bottles as well. So no light is able to get into these ingredients. So this is protected by UV rays, so it would never change the integrity of the product. And then this is one also that you can see they've changed the pumps, and so the delivery system on these are different and up to date with all the new technology. So I just wanted to run that by you and let you know that I will be having these products for you to use in the back bar. So whenever you come see me and have a facial or any peels or anything like that, these are the products that I'll be using on you. So I'm very excited about that, and just wanted to let you know that I am here on Mondays, and if you would like to schedule a consultation with me, I would be more than happy to sit and discuss any questions or concerns that you have. But these products are just wonderful. They're great for any age, any gender, any necessity. But yes, they are wonderful, and they have products for any skin condition. If you have something for melasma, we have something for rosacea, acne. If you're just trying to keep up with your fine lines and age spots, we have something for that as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing you and would love to talk to you. Happy Friday. Bye.
Happy Friday, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Chat. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I miss it when I can't record now. Before it was a little stressful, and I still get butterflies and stage fright when I do this. But you all make it so much better. I get a lot of compliments in the hallways from our residents and all that. So I thank you so much, because that helps ease it and make it easier to be able to record for you all. I don't have much updates. I do want to say that we talked about changes coming to the housekeeping department. I do want to clarify something. I'm not moving housekeepers just yet. I do want to do some changing here and there on the schedule, and it's going to benefit everyone. I do want to emphasize on the fact that I promise any decision that I make for the housekeeping department is going to be for the better of everyone. My number one priority is always putting my residents' needs, wants, and satisfaction first place, and I always take that serious when I make my decisions. And it's not happening anytime soon. I am doing some extreme interviewing and making sure that that anyone that I'm bringing to the team is going to be a great addition to the team. I look for personality. I look for experience is not one of the main things I really focus on, even though it's always a plus, because it helps with the training and coaching and making sure that we get all that perfectly. But I want to look for people that are going to be a great addition to our family here at Cypress Village. That's my focus, number one. I want to also give an update. Second week of March, we're going to be doing the second phase of installations on the dispensers throughout the community. I'm sure you all have noticed the first floor has all the new dispensers looking very nice. That's going to be the second week of March, and we're going to be adding some more new things throughout the building to make it look pleasant and nice for everyone. That's all I got for now. Thank you all for tuning in. Have an awesome weekend and see you all around the community.
Good morning. I'm Barbara Hooper. I'm here to represent the Performing Arts Committee. Some of you may already have met my guest this morning. Brenda Scott is our director of the chorus, and she was with us for the sing-along in the spring and in the fall, and also for our holiday concert that many of you were at. But we thought this would be a good opportunity for you to learn more about Brenda and more about chorus, since chorus rehearsals start this February 1st on Wednesday, and you have already figured out the reason we're here is to encourage you to become part of the chorus. And this is Brenda.
Good morning. I'm Brenda Scott, and I am delighted to be here this morning to say a little bit about the chorus and to invite you to come join us. We revived the chorus last year in the fall, and with COVID, most of the members had not sung much in the past 2 years. And I thoroughly enjoyed working with them and seeing the progress that they made. Every week we grew, and our goal for our performance in December was to do our best, and I think we really achieved that goal. And the other thing we wanted to do was just share a time of joy and happiness. And both nights we had great audiences, we had sing-alongs, we had some solos, and it was just a very joyous evening, or evenings. We begin our rehearsals next week, and I would just love to have you come and join us. So many times I meet adults who say, oh, well, I can't sing, or I used to sing. And my question then is, well, why not give it a try? Because if you don't use any skill, you start to lose it. And you don't have to be the best singer. There's a quote, and I'm going to have to paraphrase, but only the forest would be silent if only the birds with the most beautiful voices sang. And there are all sorts of scientific studies through the years that provide evidence of the physical and mental and emotional benefits that singing, and in particular singing with a group, provide for us. And I would love for all of our returning choir members to bring a friend. Each one bring one. And we have some exciting things planned. After we see you on Wednesday, I will be able to make some decisions about all the music we'll do. We want to make sure we choose music that is rewarding for you and accessible, and music that we can do well. And I always have felt in directing groups that that's the important thing, choosing the literature for the group that will perform it, or for the individual that will perform it. It's such an important part of being successful and feeling a sense of accomplishment. And I think we all experienced that back in December. And I would just love to have our choir grow this year. So I hope to see you next Wednesday, February 1st in Egret Hall, 10 a.m. to 11:30.
Good morning, Cypress Village residents. This is Jim Jandro, President of our Chapter 48 of the Florida Life Care Residents Association, or more commonly called FLICRA. Last Friday, I talked about renewing and joining FLICRA and the information we distributed to you on New Year's Day. That's still one of my discussion points today. If you have not renewed or joined FLICRA, look at the information I distributed to you and renew or join. If you have already renewed and joined, we thank you very much. The other thing I want to talk to you about is an invitation of all residents to attend the Cypress Village event in Ingrid Hall, which is the annual Florida Life Care Residents Association meeting. It's at 9:30 a.m. Thursday, this Thursday of next week, on 2 February. This annual meeting, there will be drawings, yes, plural, drawings, more than one, and breakfast items after the meeting until 11 o'clock. I invited the Florida State Senator Clay Yarborough to be the guest speaker. He gladly accepted the invitation and looks forward to returning to Cypress Village. Senator Yarborough represents our Cypress Village residents. His topic is the support of seniors, us. Senator Yarborough represented us from 2016 to 2022 in the Florida House of Representatives and on the Jacksonville City Council from 2007 to 2015. Senator Yarborough will mingle with the residents during breakfast. Please come to this event in Ingrid Hall on Thursday, 2 February at 9:30 and give Senator Yarborough a great Cypress Village welcome. This is not a political event. And after our FLYCRA meeting, Senator Yarborough will meet with Ty and his management team. I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday. Thank you.
All right, I'm back, and I wanted to start first and foremost today with community meetings. Our community meeting for residents, which will be held in February, I want to say it's February 14th, don't hold me to the date, but we are going to, based on resident requests, we are going to continue with a modified version of Unfiltered. Many residents like that forum and that content, so what we decided to do in conjunction with Resident Council was to add that unfiltered portion or that type of forum event to the end of community meeting. We ask that all residents provide any questions that they want answers to through the internet via email to life@cypressvillageretirement.com, or they can bring it and put it into the box in the library, whichever is easier. We would like to get those questions submitted prior to so we can effectively and efficiently provide the information and answers that residents around the village are inquiring about. So that would be the most efficient way to do so. However, we will open it up with time permitting during the actual session itself for questions that residents in the audience may have. So we thought that would be a good way to meet the requests and inquiries that residents have. We will see how it goes. February 14th will be our pilot on that. So stay tuned, and I hope you join us for that meeting. I also wanted to discuss another item which, is very difficult for us to talk about, and that is tipping and gifting from residents to employees. We have a very, very strict policy of non-tipping, which all of you, I think, are very aware of. But the graciousness and generosity that you have, you tend to feel that it's something that you're obligated to do. Please do not tip our employees because, number one, our employees can get in trouble as much as potentially being terminated. So that will not be good because you're trying to do them a favor. That could in turn become a problem. And it also creates a lot of disparity. And that's really the main focus behind it. We do not want residents getting preferential treatment because they are quote unquote good tippers and they take care of the staff. So please, again, thank you for your generosity. Any type of tipping or contributions you want to provide to the employees, they look extremely forward to the end of the year. Our holiday breakfast where they get a gift from the residents. So you can participate in the Christmas fund. Also, the scholarship fund is a great avenue for you to contribute to the employee base. And lastly, you can always continue with the CV Valor and feedback comments that you provide, because our associates get extraordinary rewards that they can accumulate and buy nice things and travel with. So there's multiple areas that you can contribute to meet that need or that desire to tip our staff. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that. And again, thank you for your generosity. It means a lot. Lastly, I wanted to touch on COVID-19. We are not changing any protocols here on campus. However, I do want residents to be very aware that the confirmed cases within Duval County are continuing to climb. As of yesterday, the rate was in the 20+% range, which is starting to get very, very, I would say, concerning for all of us, because we don't want any sickness, we don't want any death, we don't want any staff interruptions. There's so many things that go into us staying safe and healthy here and free from COVID. So at this time, we just ask that if you feel any concern to yourself or others, please mask up. You still have that opportunity. It is strictly voluntary. We are not going to require that at this time. If you do visit the healthcare center, and I do see a lot of residents over there when I'm over there visiting their friends that may be there for a short period of time, you must wear a mask. So please make sure that any visitation in the healthcare center, you do wear a mask. But if you go outside, you're not feeling so hot, you're going to the grocery store, wherever it may be, you might want to take a little added step of precaution there. So just a little tidbit on COVID. And before I roll into birthdays, I did want to say that the Jaguars gave it a great run last week. They just didn't have the horsepower to stand up to Kansas City. Had a couple opportunities that we didn't execute on that would have changed the outcome of the game. But kudos to the Jaguars, and let's look forward to another winning season next year, playoffs, maybe Super Bowl, who knows. So with that, we're going to roll into birthday wishes. See if we have anybody out there on the 27th whose birthday is today. We do. We have one birthday gal out there, and her name is Miss Joan Gordon. Joan, happy birthday to you today. Tomorrow we've got one birthday gentleman, and his name is Mr. George Ellis. George, happy birthday to you. On the 29th, we've got several birthdays. We'll start off with Miss Ann Smathers, Miss Helen Rund, Mr. Bob Sykes, and Miss Nelda Buckner. Oh, and also Miss Frances Moody. We've got quite a few birthdays on the 29th, so happy birthday to all of you residents. We have none on the 30th, but we have a few for the 31st. We're going to wrap up the month with Mr. Bill Galler. Bill, happy birthday to you. Miss Sarah Torville and Miss Judy Klein. Happy birthday to you three. I'm going to conclude at the end of January because I don't have February's printed here in front of me. So let's just conclude and wrap up birthday wishes for January. But to all our residents out there in the village, have a great Friday and a nice weekend. Wish some of our residents that I mentioned a happy birthday or upcoming birthday, and just truly enjoy everything life has to offer. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.